Warning: the content of this video may be disturbing to some viewers, as some of the subject matter is a bit touchy. Viewer discretion is advised. This is a very serious disclaimer for a video I'm making because I thought it was funny. 2-sentence horror stories. Bite-sized scares. Heroically entering the blaze to save the burning girl, the firefighters were not a minute too late. Only 20 seconds. Congratulations, you are our 5th caller and the winner, the perky voice declares as I hyperventilate into the phone. Having won the elusive prize of receiving police, fire, or ambulance assistance from 911, what is your emergency? Today, an alien ship landed on Earth. However, there's one tiny problem. It's empty. She said last time we were stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off, because that's what... So, it turns out you can feel everything that happens to your body after death. Suppose I should be flattered my husband still finds me attractive after all these years. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. My grandmother died giving birth to my mother, who died giving birth to me. As I felt my consciousness slip away, I pray that my baby is a boy. I smiled as I finished tying the rope around her wrists. What really made me laugh, though, were her screams as she was dragged behind my Jeep. My captors have a very odd idea of torture. Who in the world thought it was a good idea to strap me to the ground in the middle of their bamboo garden? Me and my late twin brother had a secret language, Bronese, that no one else but us could understand. I'm too scared to tell my wife that our toddler's incoherent baby talk is actually fluent Bronese. I walked down the aisle to find my fiancé, neatly packaged and ready for sale. The butcher did an incredible job. I found an old camera that had pictures of people who had been tortured to death. Christ, I was worried that my wife had taken it to the thrift store along with the other crap.
Our father seems to love his job at the cemetery. I just wish he'd stop bringing his work home with him.
Does your daughter want a pony? The stable master asked, backing away from me. No, I said, starting the chainsaw. What she wants is a centaur.
Cats tend to really enjoy laying down on warm surfaces. I know she likes my husband a lot, but I thought his body was already cold.
She said last time we were stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off, because that's what... Harder, baby, begged my restrained and blinded boyfriend. Swapping out the paddle for a spiked bat, I would happily oblige the cheating sack of shit.
When I asked my dad to check my room for monsters, he said he'd start with the closet. He still hasn't come out.
I didn't expect the devil to look horrified when he came for my soul. I mean, I didn't offer him mine, but the ones in my collection also belong to me, no? I was having dinner with my father and his new wife when he suddenly went to the other room. His wife looked at me dead in the eyes and quietly said, "I have no idea who that man is." Did you know it takes about, on average, 15 minutes to completely dissolve a human body using hydrochloric acid? To be fair, I've only killed around 5 people, so my data could be a little off, but trust me, I'll fix that soon enough. I read the message on her t-shirt. My eyes are up here. They weren't. I can't feel my face, I yell. But what did I mean by my face? I frantically ran to the Walmart's customer service to pick up my son who'd gotten lost in the store. Nice try, sir. His father's already picked him up. I flashed my lights at a car to let them know their headlights were off. They've been following me now for 30 minutes, and my gas light just came on. I assumed the cute guy I hooked up with at the party was joking when he told me he was an alien. But the joke was on me, because a pregnancy, let alone one that's lasted 19 months so far, is not something I ever expected to have to deal with as a gay man. She said last time we were stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off, because that's what...
Genie, I wish my parents were dead, I told the genie just before he was sucked back into the bottle. I went downstairs, and they were still there, alive and well. I got this house for cheap because the couple who lived here were brutally murdered in their bed. Feels good to be back. As I got on my hands and knees to look under the bed, I saw a man in a ski mask and holding a knife. I told him to move over as I heard my father coming up the stairs saying,
Tommy, I need to talk to you about your grades in school.
"Oh, honey, you're awake." I miscalculated the lethal dose. "Your jacket's oddly soft. What's it made of?" If I told them how I made it, I would have to add them to the jacket as well. "I forgot to grab something. I'll be right back," said Mom. As she rounded the corner, out of sight, the cashier began ringing up our groceries. As the shooter entered the bathroom, you could hear his each and every step as he slowly walked past the stalls until he came to a stop. It was quiet for a few moments before you heard him cock his gun and clearly say the words, "Hey Siri."
I wish all the holes in my heart to be closed so I may love once again, I told the genie.
I felt a gripping pain and I couldn't breathe. I've been working on stories to compete with the best on this sub, but I'm finding it near impossible. I'm beginning to think some of you are just making yours up. As I stood there, dazed from my opponent's blow, I could only shriek as I felt his icy fingers tighten around my spine as he began to pull. I blink, my eyes struggling to comprehend what happened, when I see my opponent across from me, and I hear a voice shout,
"Round 2, fight!"
She said last time we were stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off because uploaded 13 hours ago. 4 views. The attending nurse in the recovery room gave me a sedative, then a laxative. Her eyes sparkled as she glanced at me, and then to the bathroom across the way, and with a devilish smile, she wished me good luck in trying to get there before both the sedative and the laxative kicked in. They say we have a primal sense, that we can just feel when someone is watching us. It's been a few weeks, and it's very clear that you do not have that sense. I love when my kid is asking about everything. He's such a curious one, but there are some questions that are better left unanswered. Being blind, I have to rely on how my husband sounds during sex to know how he's feeling. I was wondering why I wasn't hearing much from him during our session. Then I froze when I heard his voice calling for me downstairs. I'm going to have to leave this sub. The crew looked on in terror as their captain opened the hatch at a depth of 2,000 feet. I stood on top of the cliff, staring at the sun, overwhelmed by its beauty. I couldn't avert my gaze. My vision slowly blurred as my eyes were clawed out by crows. Time of death, 8:23. Called the paramedic as I lay in the back of an alleyway, my throat sliced open. I woke up from my nightmare to see a message from my date, reading, "Are we still on for 8 tonight?" Despite the effects of the virus on me, I was able to find enough ingredients to make a single life-saving dose. I went to the twins' bedroom to share the news, and heard their first rattling coughs. It was painful hearing my dog yelp in agony as it fell over from its broken leg, but the thought of the Twitter likes I will get is too much to give up. I know it sounds silly, but my roommate seems to think our neighbor is a vampire. I knew she'd be opposed, so I waited until she was at work to invite him in for coffee.
Where's Waldo?
With her dementia rapidly progressing, I fear I will never know where she put my baby brother's body. When I touch someone, I can feel what they feel. As my wife's hands closed around my neck, I felt a rush of joy. We saw yet another group of zombies eating a fresh corpse. One of them looked at us for a second, and I realized some people prefer blending in as a survival strategy. She said last time